These feminine affirmations make him claim you. If you'd like to learn how to draw out a man's devotion, to make him feel a deep love for you, a deep claiming where he sees you as his woman, the woman that he wants to protect, the woman that he wants to cherish, the woman that he is committing to for life without a man losing interest, losing attraction, losing devotion, pulling away, potentially wanting to break up and leave you, we're going to avoid that with these powerful advanced principles. So, hi, I'm Brody Boyd. If you don't know me already, for over 20 years combined with my wife, Antia, we've been helping thousands of successful women all over the world to get a loving, long-term, and committed relationship with a man they want fast. So let's start diving in. I'm excited today for the show, and go ahead and leave your comments or questions below as we go through this because I'm going to have a Q&A session at the end. We're going to be talking about powerful advanced feminine affirmations that amplify your feminine polarity, amplify your feminine connection, and magnifies his masculine connection and polarity to you through the law of polarity, which states that opposite energies attract. If you want a man to have a deep, loving, committed devotion to you and a passion that doesn't go out like a flame, but instead burns brighter, then we want to use polarity. We want to amplify that difference because him feeling your feminine heart, your feminine connection is going to make him feel that he is your man, that he sees you as his woman, and that you are his helpmate. You are his follow. You are his follow to his leadership. You are the openness to his gifts, the receptivity to his masculine devotion. And he wants more of that. He doesn't want to lose you in his life because the complementary energy is so strong. And this is assuming, of course, it's a healthy masculine man who is not deeply broken. However, most men, this will be brought out inside of when you are living this way because your connected feminine energy is going to amplify his sense of connected masculine power. So let's go into these advanced affirmations right now. So I'm going to hide this from the screen here. So the first one that we have here is our trust and surrender affirmations. So we're going to go through these together. I'll explain some more as needed, but let's read them out loud. I choose to trust. I choose to receive. I let go of control and rest in his strength. I trust my man to lead. I feel safe when I surrender. His guidance frees me. So there's a couple powerful notes with these affirmations here. Is trust, receptivity, feminine energy. At the end of the day, it is like a choice. It is you bypassing your masculine energy that you might have that wants to override your feminine, your wounding patterns, your trauma, to get back to the core of who you really are, your feminine core as a woman, and say, I choose to trust. I choose to be in my feminine. I choose to surrender. I choose to have faith over fear and let my man lead. And so it's a powerful acknowledgement to just make that choice in your life, in your relationship. Now, of course, you have to have a man who is trustworthy, a man who you can surrender to. And oftentimes that's why you have to give it some time, our 90-day challenge, to see what kind of man you're dealing with. But assuming he's a healthy man and you give it that 90 days, he has to learn also to step into his healthy masculine. He will start to embrace his healthy masculine and lead and become a man worth trusting, become a man who's worth respecting because you are showing him that ahead of time. You are surrendering to him ahead of time to give him that chance to step up and be that man for you. Letting go allows him to rest in his strength. Letting go of control, that's a huge one for the feminine practice, to just stop controlling, stop trying to lead, stop trying to micromanage and drive the relationship forward yourself. Allow him to step up, allow him to take that control. Give him that space and encourage that through your feminine energy, through your vulnerability, your openness, your appreciation, that allows him to actually become more strong in himself, to feel like a man when he's with you. And he may not feel that in other areas of your life, of his life, but when he's with you, he feels like a man. Trusting your man to lead, trusting him to guide, to make those decisions, big and small, in your relationship, to have faith that he will make a good decision. And if he doesn't, you can share your feelings about that, and hopefully he will adjust, just like in a healthy dance. He will adjust his behavior accordingly to learn how to make you happy, how to make sure that your dance, your relationship, is pleasurable for him and for you. It's a mutually enjoyable dance. That's what a relationship is. He is, however, leading that. He needs to lead it to be in the masculine, to have that healthy polarity that he wants to embrace over and over again and feel that this is the woman he's meant to be, because he feels like more of a powerful man when he's with you. He feels like a stronger man, a more confident man, a better man by having you, this special queenly woman in his life that he doesn't get anywhere else. Why would he want to lose that ever? You feel safe when you surrender. So this is a good affirmation because a lot of women have fear because they've been hurt before. They don't have the courage to surrender, to let go. So to actually embrace that courage and know that it takes courage to let go oftentimes, but that's where you then get to see, you give it another chance to see what kind of man you're dealing with, because otherwise you'll never know. The ultimate test of a man is your surrender, is your faith in him, your trust in him, your respect in him. And then you observe. You're embracing your feminine listening, your feminine knowingness, and observing what kind of man you're with. What does he do when you actually surrender into your feminine? Is he cherishing your heart? Is he taking care of it? Or is he hurting you in some ways? Is he dismissing it? That shows you you're dealing with a boy or a man who hasn't connected. Now, over time, he may need to learn how to actually do that. And that's where you being in your feminine helps to inspire him into his masculine. And it may take some time for him to adjust to that and learn how to be in his healthy masculine. But if you're with a deeply broken man who is abusive or uncaring to you, you need to get out of that situation right away. And you may need to learn that over time. But once you learn it, you have to be willing to walk away, because that's how you ultimately hold your value as a woman. His guidance frees me. So some women have a fear of losing their freedom. I don't want a man to tell me what to do. I don't want a man to take leadership over my life or guide everything and plan all the dates and pay for everything. However, if you embrace the belief that what if it frees you actually? What if you're more free being with a man like that than you were by yourself, where you have to do everything yourself? You have to plan it all out yourself. You have to think and make decisions and plan everything. You know, when me and my wife got married, we said, with this ring, I set you free. What's this one? With this ring, I set you free. And the idea was I had a fear of commitment, and I embraced for myself this idea of what if I became more free in the right relationship, in a healthy relationship. So it's very powerful. The next affirmation we have here, put this up, are receiving and worthiness affirmations, the advanced feminine affirmations. I am worthy of being cherished, adored, and led. I open myself fully to receive. I soften and allow love in. I welcome his direction as a gift. Receiving is my superpower. So this is about feminine worthiness. A worthy woman is willing and happily able, I'll say able and happily willing to receive, to let go, to surrender, because she believes she's worthy of being taken care of. She's worthy of being cherished by a man. She's worthy of being led by a healthy masculine man who wants to do her good and not harm. Do her good in her life, provide her with the desires of her heart. Now, of course, you have to see what man you're dealing with to know who he is, but a worthy woman believes that's what she deserves. She deserves to be cared for, taken care of, led by a man who loves her, by a man who shows his love with every action and every word that leaves his mouth. Maybe not everyone, but he will make mistakes occasionally, but for the majority, he is showing care for you. And that's what you deserve. That's what a worthy woman believes. That's what I deserve, to be taken care of, to be cherished, to be adored. And that shows you, that proves to yourself that you are a worthy woman by being willing to be vulnerable in that sense, to open up to that, shows that you believe you are worthy to have that in your life. And therefore you are opening, you are receiving, and you're okay with receiving because you don't have to give back. You don't have to give anything back to him other than your feminine energy, other than your feminine openness in your heart and your vulnerability. So you open yourself fully to receive, you soften and allow love in, and you welcome his direction as a gift, that it is a gift in your life to have a man who actually wants to lead, who actually wants to pursue you, prioritize you, take care of you, take care of things, make decisions. That is a gift. That is an honor. And to show him that appreciation, to show him that you value that in your life, allows him to feel valued, allows him to feel like he's a man, like he's a king, like he's a valuable man who is doing good in the world, because, hey, at the very least, he's making you happy. He may not be a multimillionaire yet. He may not have his empire fully formed or made a huge impact in the world, but he could at least make a huge impact with you in your world. He can make you happy. And that gives him a sense of purpose. That gives him a sense of happiness as a man, knowing he is providing value for someone, that he is valued for his gifts as a man. So you welcome his direction as a gift, and receiving is your superpower. To not just even think about it as, oh, I'm good at receiving. I can receive when a man wants to give me things, when a man wants to give me a compliment, when he takes care of things for me, when he pays for things for me. Not only am I good at that, that is your superpower. What if that was your superpower, that you were so competent in that? Maybe you don't have to be competent in really anything else except the ability to receive properly, at least in your relationship. If you can receive properly, meaning you don't resist it, you don't dismiss it, you don't say, oh, I don't deserve that. I don't deserve to be taken care of in that way. I don't deserve to have a man pay for everything. I don't deserve to have a man protect me and provide for me and be my hero. Well, we want to cancel that out and say, well, what if that was actually not only what you deserve, but that was your superpower? You are your superpower. You are a superwoman in receiving. You've worked those receiving muscles and you've gotten so good at it that you can just fully let it in without feeling, oh, I have to give him something back. I have to do something for him. I have to give him sex, or I have to cook for him or perform for him or solve his issues. Like, no, what if your only gift that you had to give him was receiving, was being in your feminine, being receptive, being open, being vulnerable, being respectful, being appreciative. And that was it. So it's a powerful affirmation, something to really ponder and meditate on, really, in your life and in your relationship. The next advanced affirmations we have here today are the submission and devotion affirmations. My surrender is my offering. His guidance is my focus. My surrender deepens our bond. I delight in yielding. I find freedom in following. So these are, some of them are somewhat similar to what we said before. They're different words, different language slightly. Some people may be triggered, some women may be triggered by this word submission and see it as a dirty word. Like, submission means I'm going to be abused in some way. I'm going to be taken advantage of. I'm going to be hurt. I'm going to be whatever, fill in the blank, cheated on, uncared for, left alone, lonely. So a lot of women have fear around this and pain around this word and this idea because they've been hurt in the past, or because of societal programming, or they've seen other women in their lives or in other areas who were in abusive relationships, potentially, where the man took advantage of her. He made her do things that were uncaring, were hurtful, that he did to her. And so the idea is submission. Not every man deserves your submission. That is something that is a gift. And we said it here, that your surrender deepens your bond. Your surrender is your offering. So your surrender is a gift. So you shouldn't, like Jesus said, we shouldn't throw your pearls before swine and just give any man your submission. You submit to a man who is showing you loving leadership. He is showing a heart connectedness in his relationship with you. Just like in a dance, he's leading you in the dance. Is he leading you from a place of love, or is he leading you from a place of him trying to look good, or him forcing you to do something that you don't enjoy, that doesn't feel good to you? Because a healthy man, healthy, connected, masculine man, he's leading you for his enjoyment and for your enjoyment. And really primarily for your enjoyment, because he's getting a sense of purpose and value by knowing he's a good man, that he's capable, that he's providing value for someone in his life. He's the hero for somebody. So is he leading you with love? That's the key. That's where you have to observe over time, because if he's a broken man, you should not submit to a broken man, especially not over a long period of time. Maybe you can do it in the beginning to see what kind of man you're dealing with, but if he's not showing care for your heart and you're using everything we teach you with magnetic feminine communication, magnetic feminine polarity, you're able to speak to your feelings, and you've gotten some of our advanced training and coaching, hopefully, on how to do that in your relationship. And he's still not treating you well, he's still not leading well, he's not leading with devotion for you, then that's not a good situation. You shouldn't remain in a situation like that. You should be willing to walk away from an unhealthy, abusive situation. In fact, you need to. You have to. However, beyond that caveat, that big caveat, surrender is a huge component of feminine energy. That's you following him in the dance of your relationship. And it's a beautiful thing. You may use a different word if you feel better about it. Following, surrendering, receiving. These are all different words, and it's just interesting to notice where you might have different emotional reactions based on different words and different language that we use when talking about masculine feminine dynamics, to see where there may be some wounding and maybe some blocks that we can break through. That may be the reason why you haven't had a great relationship up until this point. There may be limiting beliefs and viewpoints and unhealthy viewpoints on relationships that have caused blocks. So we want to clear out so you can have the love that you desire. So his guidance is my focus. This is about listening. This is about reading him also, listening to him so that you are aware of where he wants to lead you. What direction is he taking the relationship? Just like in that dance, what is a good follow doing in a dance? She's listening to her lead. She's listening to where does he want to take her? Does he want to twirl her? Does he want to move her this way? Does he want to dip her? She's listening with her body and with her heart and with her mind. Where is he guiding me? Please guide me. Please show me. Take me where you want to. My leader, my boss, my daddy, whatever you prefer to call him. Where is he leading you? Following that, listening to where he wants to lead you. That's part of feminine receptivity. Listening. And you have to listen. Listen to his words, listen to his body, listen to his commands, you might say, where he wants to take the relationship. Meet me at 8 o'clock. We're going to go somewhere special tonight. I want you to wear the red dress. You know, when he gives you directions like that, you probably really like it, right? You like it when a man is leading in a date, in a romantic situation. And so it's listening in those ways in your relationship to know where he is guiding you in a healthy way. And if he's not guiding you in a healthy way, to be able to speak up about that and have a vulnerable conversation, a respectful conversation, so he understands, oh, he may need to adjust a little bit. Maybe he's not leading you exactly how you would like to be led. And that's a different conversation. But anyways, so his surrender deepens your bond. Your surrender deepens your bond. You delight in yielding. So finding pleasure in that, finding the gifts, the enthusiasm for actually surrendering to him. That's a great gift you can give him as well, that a man will deeply honor, especially if he's a healthy masculine man. You'll feel like, wow, this is a huge responsibility in a sense. This is a gift. She's giving me her full surrender. I should take care of this. I should treat it well. I should make sure I do her good and not harm, because this is a precious gift she's giving me here. And I take on that responsibility. With great responsibility comes, with great power comes great responsibility. So I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to make sure I'm honored in taking this responsibility. So he'll take care of your heart, hopefully, if he's a good man, in that way, and not fail, not drop your heart, which a lot of men unfortunately do, who are not aware of these principles, who need to learn because they've never interacted with a healthy feminine woman. But the other beauty is, when you're a healthy feminine woman, you're going to attract more of these healthy masculine men into your life through the law of polarity, and you'll attract that out of the man you're with. And again, finding freedom and following, we talked about this before. All right, let's get to the next one here. Embodiment and presence. I am soft, open, and responsive. My body listens and follows. I relax into his hands. I am present, pliant, and attentive. I breathe, I yield, I receive. So some of these affirmations get a little bit more sexual, but sexual chemistry is a big part of romantic chemistry, as we know. Otherwise, you would just have a friendship with a man. So it's important to embody. How can you embody this in your relationship, metaphorically and in reality? This idea of being soft, being open, being responsive to his touch or to his leadership, to him as a man. That your body is listening to him. Your body is receptive. Just like if a man were to lean in and whisper something in your ear, like, is your body responding to that? You get some tingles on your neck? Or when he's grabbing you from behind and giving you a hug or holding your hips in a gentle, loving way, like, is your body responding to that? Or are you like getting rigid or just not reacting at all because you're resisting his leadership? Now, of course, if this is not a man you feel safe with, and this is not a man you want or enjoy, of course, you should get away from that. You should freeze up, we might say, or block it. But if it's a man you want, like, what may be the block where you're not responding? Not physically, not emotionally, not mentally, where there's something blocking you and causing a rigidity pattern where you're like frozen. And it could be because of past trauma often, unfortunately. And there needs to be some deep healing that can happen with that. And we do a lot of that deeper work, especially my wife, with helping women to move past trauma in their life where they were abused, they were taken advantage of, or they were hurt in some deep way. when you can move past those blocks, when we can integrate and find healing, you can actually become more open and receptive. And part of it is these processes, these weekly habits of embracing affirmations and learning and education like you're getting here to become more soft and open and receptive and move past some of these things, integrate them in your life so that you can be open, you can be a feminine connected woman again and feel happy, feel the pleasure of that, feel the sensitivity of that, that you can be pliant and attentive and present in his hands, in his world, in his relationship container for you, and be able to yield and receive. Now again, also I don't recommend having sex with a man until you're ideally married or he's deeply claimed you. But the idea here is still that receptivity. Even if you're not having sex with a man, you can still be receptive physically, mentally, emotionally to his touch, to his care, to his attention for you. All right, let's get to the next affirmations here. Love and polarity affirmations. These are the next advanced ones that we have, which is his strength awakens my softness. I shine brighter when I surrender. My yielding invites his power. His leadership is my pleasure. I am safe, seen, and surrendered. So let's go through these again. Let's go through these as well. His strength awakens your softness. So recognizing his strength, part of this is seeing his strength. You might be with a man right now where you feel he's not that connected to his masculine. There's parts of him that may be weak or disconnected or wounded within your man. But to look for the strength, look for the hero inside of your man, because every man has a masculine core deep inside. To see those moments inside of him and things that he does and things that he says where you see his strength and honor that, appreciate him for that. And that's the easy thing you can do with feminine communication, to just say something about it and say, I appreciate, I love, I feel so taken care of when you make decisions like this for us, or when you open the car door for me, or when you plan our dates. I feel so feminine. I feel so happy when you share your thoughts and your feelings with me, or really your connectedness with me. The time we spend together makes me feel so loved and cared for. So letting him know about these things, whatever that thing might be, that shows he has some strength in his masculine energy and his leading of the relationship. Let him know about that. Acknowledge it. Honor him for it. Value him for it. Let him know about it using magnetic feminine communication. And then he's going to start to become more connected to that part inside of him as well and say, oh, I am leading here. Oh, I am actually a strong man. I do have strong parts inside of me. I want to do this more for her. I feel good about it. And you start to encourage that. You create a positive feedback loop where he becomes more and more masculine for you, and you start to relax even more into your feminine and share more of that appreciation with him of how you feel when he is that way, and he does it more and more and more because you start to shape his identity. He starts to see himself more and more as a strong man, as a masculine man in your eyes and in his own eyes. He becomes that more for you. He becomes the hero more for you. My yielding invites his power. I shine brighter when I surrender. So these are all polarity principles. Like your feminine energy expands his masculine energy. Your surrender is a bright light to him. It's shining your light like a beacon, like the flame to the moths, like the lighthouse to the ships. His leadership is my pleasure. I am safe, seen, and surrendered. Beautiful. Safe, seen, and surrendered. The 3 S's. And his leadership is your pleasure. Taking pleasure in that, taking enthusiasm in that, of encouraging him through your receptivity when he does lead, that you light up. Let yourself light up. Let yourself get excited about it. Show it through your body. Show it through your smile, your openness, maybe your body quivering with excitement because you're seeing that in him. You're recognizing his leadership in your life and in your relationship, and that makes you excited. That gives you even pleasure potentially. Now, you don't want to fake this, but it's about finding that. That's part of your feminine receptivity, that your natural response as a woman will be to feel pleasure when you're in the presence, you're in the container of a masculine man who's taking care of you and leading well. Like your natural response will be pleasure if you tap into it, if you feel into it, it will be there. And to amplify it even within yourself, to get used to that, feeling what it feels like to be taken care of, to be cherished and adored by a man who is starting to feel more and more feelings of love for you because of that as well on his end. All right, so those are our advanced affirmations for today, and we're going to get into some questions now. I want to hear your feelings about all of this. Before we get into the questions, if you haven't yet, I would highly recommend taking our free quiz to get a loving, long-term, committed relationship with the man you desire fast by clicking the link in the description or comments below, or going to our website, magnetizeyourman.com. You can get our top recommendation for you on how to get the relationship you actually desire with a man that you want quickly using these advanced feminine principles and what exactly to do. And our 90-day challenge will all be included with that. All right, so let's go to our questions for today. So we have some feedback here. Artie said, good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. Glad to have you here, Artie. Please like, share, and subscribe. Yes, please. I would encourage that to get more of these powerful golden nuggets coming soon. In the show, you'll catch our future episodes. Julianne's likes the My Daddy reference. Yes, it's a great, these pet names, they're actually called honorifics. Honorifics are sort of nicknames you can give, not even just nicknames, but they're, in a way, they're like titles, nicknames, words of respect you can give to your man, such as my king, daddy, my hero, my champion, my lover. And oftentimes what I find is you want to find one that works good for you and your guy, like a special name that's just for the two of you that you can work out. Maybe it has something to do with an inside joke of something that happened one time between the two of you, and now you always reference him as, you know, your champion or your king or your leader or sir. You say yes sir or yes boss. Maybe you guys used to work together, used to be colleagues. It's like yes boss. You don't have to do the hand signal. That's not really feminine. It could be fun and playful though. But these can be a great way to amplify that polarity on a daily basis. It's like that feminine micro habit, right? Just throw it in there occasionally for fun, right? Fun, flirtiness. Yes, daddy. Yes, king. Yes, my hero. My man, whatever that is for you, that works well and that gives that sense of spice to your relationship. Oh, by the way, if you have any other questions or comments about what we're talking about today, I will be able to answer a few more today. So go ahead and post those down below, and we may have time for your questions if you have them before we wrap up today. All right. So Julianne had another question. You say 90 days is enough time to discern whether a man is submission worthy, right? Typically, yes. Typically, yes. In the vast majority of situations with a man, 90 days is plenty of time. 90 days of plenty of time to learn what kind of man you're dealing with. And also, it's a good period of time to save a relationship. If your relationship is on the rocks and it's not really going anywhere, or your man is pulling away, or if it's a new man that you're dating, that period of time will allow you to really see through situations that you go through conversations that you go through that will help you with having magnetic feminine conversations about issues, about how you're feeling, about your desires in the relationship, about your desires in your life. That 90-day container will allow you to see what kind of man you are dealing with and how he handles you, how he handles those situations. Does he step up or does he shrink back? Is he stepping up or stepping out? You got to see what kind of man this is. And you will only know that typically through a period of time and having deeper conversations and also having situations using magnetic feminine polarity, using magnetic feminine communication the whole time, ideally. Now, of course, you can leave this, you can end the 90-day challenge at any time. The idea here is you're going all in. In that 90 days, you're going all into your feminine, using all the principles we talked about here, even today, trusting, surrendering, following his leadership, appreciating him, being vulnerable, communicating with him. We didn't go that deep into it today, magnetic feminine communication, which is a very important part of this process, which, again, take our free quiz if you want to learn more about that. And so, yeah, it can be at any time you can cut the challenge short because you're going all in. But at any time, if you just decipher this is not a healthy man, this man is deeply broken, or he's not connected at all to his masculine core, he's a feminine man, whatever the issue might be, you can bounce at any time. And you should, because you as a queen, why would you stay in a situation where you're being abused or mistreated or just not cared for, like the queen you are, over a period of time? Why would you continue to stay in a situation like that? Again, assuming you're using everything we teach you here. Because if you're still in masculine energy, if you're still in wounding patterns and you're criticizing him, trying to control him, trying to micromanage him, trying to do backseat driving, then of course he's going to pull away. Of course it's not going to work out, or he's not going to probably treat you like a queen you are. He's not going to treat you with care and devotion because you're in masculine energy. So assuming that that's not the case, which you may not even be aware of the ways you may be showing up in your masculine, so we have to look at that and see how we can make sure you're in full feminine energy and in the way you are with him. But yeah, if that's not the case and he's still treating you, if that is the case, you're fully in your feminine, he's not treating you well, you should get out. And that's why you give it a period of time. Now, of course, the challenge can be shorter or longer, depending on how long you care, how much you care about this guy, and maybe how long you've known each other. So if you've been married for a guy for 10 years, to a guy for 10 years, and things are on the rocks, the relationship is basically over, and you're like, okay, I want to really give this a shot. I'm going to give this a final shot to make sure this relationship is salvaged. Maybe you go a little longer than 90 days. Maybe you go for 6 months, depending on the situation. Maybe there's kids involved. But typically, I haven't seen any excuse for really going beyond that point. Now, if it's a new man that you're on a first date with, you can maybe give it 2 weeks. I'm going to give this guy 2 weeks, and I'm going to observe how he handles things when I speak up, when I'm in my feminine, when I'm following him. I'm going to observe how he responds and what he does with his actions, not just his words. And that's why you also need some time, because you need to see how he handles different situations that you may both go through. But then you'll know, and it may just be 2 weeks and that's it. But you'll have to judge for yourself what's the best time period. 90 days is a good solid bet for most cases. Shell said, I love this. Glad you like it, Shell. The affirmations are powerful when you embrace them. Melanie said the same thing. I love it. Glad you like that. All right, we have another question here. All right, so this comes from Leslie. So Leslie said, I've been in your program for a while, our coaching program, our Magnetize Your Man coaching program. Great to have you in there, Leslie, and great to have you as part of the community. She said, I've watched a man go from broken, fearful, avoidant to a more open person. He is progressing. It's with the help of feminine communication and prayers. So glad to hear that, Leslie. Glad you're really committing to yourself through this process by getting coaching support, by getting the advanced principles, by implementing this in your life, and you're seeing the fruit of that, right? Sowing and reaping. You're sowing into yourself. You're sowing into your romantic life, financially, emotionally, mentally, in other ways. You're taking this seriously, and you're getting fruit from that because you're now embracing feminine principles. That's a huge feminine principle, by the way, of taking care of yourself too. I don't even like that term. I like self-care, which means you're showing yourself the same love that you want to receive from a man in different ways. You're taking care of your health. You're getting enough sleep. You're going out in nature. You're spending yourself in environments like this, getting education and pouring into yourself through this, and allowing me to pour into you through this educational exchange here. And you're investing into yourself in that way, and you're eventually going to see the fruit of that, because you're showing yourself that you believe you're valuable. And now you're going to attract a man seeing that you're valuable as well. And because you're in feminine principle, your man is being more open with you. He is progressing it. He's progressing things with you. And he's even healing, it sounds like he's healing his own masculine core because you're healing your feminine core. And in some ways, he's becoming a more masculine man. He's moving from brokenness. Now, when I say you want to watch out for broken men, yes, there's a lot of broken men out there. They're deeply broken. They're traumatized from different things that have happened in their life, with their romantic life and situations. However, unless a man is deeply broken, because we're all broken in some sense, but if he's not deeply broken, which he may not be able to recover from, but most men, they're not deeply broken. And he will be able to start healing himself. He'll start healing himself because he's with you, because he's getting inspired to be a better man for you, because you are what he wants. You are becoming more of this feminine, open, queenly woman, high value woman, and he's wanting to grow for you. He's becoming more healed through your feminine energy. Like I said, that's really the only gift you need to give him. Your feminine energy is healing enough. You don't have to be his therapist. You don't have to be his mommy, and show him what to do better and be his coach and help him and be his teacher and his nurse, et cetera, et cetera. He'll do that on his own. That's his work. His work is to fix himself and to heal himself. However, you can inspire him. You can inspire him to want to do that, and he will want to do it because he will want to be a better man for you. If a man has any connection to his masculine core, he's going to get his sense of purpose by knowing he's making his woman happy, and you could be that woman for him, and that you can be that openness. You can give him a source to be able to pour into himself, and invest into you and fix things for you and help you with things and give you advice and show up for you in different ways through his love, through his care, listening to you, caring about your feelings, wanting to protect you, wanting to provide for you, wanting to be your hero. Like all that will be unlocked and opened up the more you embrace the process. Embrace the process, but detach from the outcome. So I'm great to hear that, Leslie. And you said thank you very much. You're very welcome, Leslie. Thank you for sharing. All right. So Shell said, so what do you call it when a couple feels like complete soulmates and feel like they've been together before only after 2 weeks? Well, the first thing I would say, Shell, is to be very careful with a situation like that because we don't know exactly how he's feeling. A man may say something like that. He may say, oh, you're my soulmate and you're beautiful and you're everything I've been looking for and I want you forever and I'm going to marry you someday. Like a man may be saying those things, but we don't know that that's actually true. And I don't want to sound too cynical here, but that's why I have these things built into our process and built into our program and the methodology here, the Magnetize Your Man methodology, is that we need to observe if his words are actually backed up by actions. And that takes some time. 2 weeks, yeah, you've gotten to know him a little bit, but you need more time. You need the 90-day challenge, really. You need to see how he actually behaves over 90 days. Does he actually behave like that? That he is seeing you as his soulmate? Is he really showing up for you in different ways and taking care of you and investing into you, investing in the relationship in all different ways? It could be financially, it could be mentally, it could be emotionally, it could be spiritually. He's investing into you. And that's really the only way you know, because you know what you feel on your end, but we don't actually know what he's feeling on his end. It could just be words. And there's a lot of scammers out there, by the way. There's a lot of men who just want to get in your pants and just want to tell you what they think you want to hear so that they can have sex with you. There's also a lot of scammers who want to tell you what they think you want to hear to make you fall in love with them so that then they can take your money in some way, get you to lend them some money or give them some money or give them a green card or some kind of passport or come to your country. Whatever that is, like he may have another agenda. So we got to watch out for that. You don't want to be too skeptical, too cynical, but you do also want to guard your heart to some extent because it is the wellspring of life, as the Bible says. Your heart is where everything comes from. It is your most valuable asset as a woman. It's not your body. It's not your sexual organs. It's not your personality, although that may be wonderful and lovely. It is your heart. Your heart is ultimately what he wants, your feminine core. So we have to see what he does and how he actually treats that and his behavior over time to know who that is, who he is, who you're dealing with, and that there isn't some alternative agenda behind it. And yeah, it could also be true. I'm not saying it's not true. It could also be true. He could be fully in love with you. He sees you as a soulmate and you do him. And beautiful, wonderful, you're going to have a great relationship. But we don't know that. And I would say it's somewhat unlikely, but he could also just be excited about it. He could be also an avoidant attachment where he gets really excited in the beginning, but then he starts pulling away over time because he can't sustain that level of emotional intimacy. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. And yeah, but hopefully it will continue. And I would also add the caveat, like, have you actually talked to this guy on the phone? Have you met him in person? Because a lot can be learned from that. A lot can be learned from actual in-person meeting or on the phone at least, versus messaging online. Hopefully you're not just messaging a guy online, because that's very suspicious. That is very suspicious. But I'm just saying caveats for other women who may be listening as well. Malaka said, thank you very much. Malika, glad to have you here. Great to have you as part of the community. And then I want to read this also. We got a super chat from Julianne. She said, thank you. Your content is refreshing. Thank you, Julianne. I appreciate the super chat. And I'm glad this is helping you. And I'm glad that you're here and you're in our community and you're in our world and you're getting this support that you need so that we can help you to attract a man who is then also going to help you. Who is also going to be your hero and show up for you in your life. And it starts with this. It starts with this process. So I'm really glad to have you here. Julianne, Kath said, hello. What if we just met for 2 months before where we're all good, we update, and suddenly he changes, and normally we talk twice a day. Is that okay? Is that love, or do I need to confront him? So you met 2 months ago. Everything was good. And then suddenly you only talk once or twice a day, I mean, I don't see an issue there unless you were talking 4 times a day and now he's only calling you once or twice a day. I think talking once or twice a day is plenty. Now, maybe you're also saying, maybe this is, I'm misreading this, and you're saying that you used to talk once or twice a day and now he doesn't call you at all. Now, that's a bigger issue. Like if he hasn't called you for a week, something's probably wrong. You know, something's going on there, and you need to, don't confront him about it. Confrontation is masculine. That's like putting on your boxing gloves and getting into the boxing gym. I'm going to take him out. I'm going to confront this guy. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right. Why aren't you talking to me? Why aren't you talking to me? You got to be a better man. Step up. Change yourself. Change yourself. Like that's pure masculine energy, right? So I'm giving you that example so you understand. We're not confronting a man here. You're not also arguing with a man. You're using magnetic feminine communication, which means you're actually doing the opposite of that. You're showing up and being vulnerable with him. You're opening up your heart rather than closing your heart and putting on your armor and getting out the sword or the boxing gloves. No, no, no. We want to set the armor down. You may be hurt. You may be feeling some pain, some sadness, but we want to let him see that. A man actually wants to feel your emotions. He wants to feel your sadness. He wants to feel your anxiety or your fear if it's shared in the right way. If it's not used like a weapon and say, you're making me feel sad. You're making me feel sad. Stop making me feel sad. Stop hurting me. Like that's just going to make him defensive. What is a man going to do when you start punching him? He's got to start protecting himself, right? He's going to get his shield or he's going to get his sword, and all of a sudden you guys are having a battle. Like that's not healthy. That's not productive. It's not moving the relationship forward. But if you come with your armor off and you show him, look, I don't know what to do. I'm feeling sad. I don't know what to do. And then he'll ask you more. He'll ask you more questions. And of course, we have the whole formula. This is just a glimpse into that of how to use magnetic feminine communication, all the different ways and all the different situations. And in fact, we'll customize this for you in your specific situation. We'll give you an exact plan of what to do in our coaching communities and in our programs, however, in courses. But so you want to come with openness instead, vulnerability. Let him see your heart. Let him feel your heart and understand the impact of his actions so he can have empathy and realize he's failing as a man, potentially. Like, remember, if a man is connected to his masculine and he wants to make you happy, he's going to feel like a failure if that's not the case. He's going to feel like, well, my woman is not happy. My woman is sad. I don't want her to feel sad. I'm doing a bad job here. I want to do better. And he's telling himself this. You're not having to tell him these things. He's telling himself, I need to do better, which, by the way, he's going to be much more likely to follow through if he tells himself he needs to do better, or he needs to change, or he needs to take better care of you, or be more open, or be more responsive or in his communication with you, than if you have to tell him that. And if you have to tell him, you know, why aren't you calling me more often, or, you know, you got to step up, or you got to change. This is a problem. You got to work on yourself. Like he's going to be much less likely to actually do it if you're telling him what to do, which is you being in the masculine, him being forced into the feminine, than if he tells himself what to do. He's feeling your heart, and now he's telling himself, I need to do better. Now it's going to actually change. Now he's going to change himself, and it's actually going to stick because he wants to, because he's being inspired by your feminine energy to do better. Assuming he's a healthy man. He may be a broken man, and no matter how open and vulnerable and feminine you are, he's not going to take care of you. He's not going to step up because he can't. He's broken. He doesn't have the ability. He needs to do some deep work on himself. Now, he may still move past it, like what Leslie was saying, if he's not deeply broken. But there are some deeply broken men out there that may just not be able to do it no matter what you do. And then you have to get out of those situations. But we'll have to see. Use what we teach you, and we'll observe, and then you will get into a happy, healthy relationship. Or we will learn that this guy is deeply broken and you have to move on. But either way, you're going to win because you're going to get a happy, healthy relationship eventually at some point because of who you're becoming. The treasure at the end of the rainbow, the light at the end of the tunnel, is not you actually getting the man. Like, that's great if you get the man in your life, if he devotes himself to you and loves you and cherishes you for life. But the actual treasure that's allowing this to be a happening in your life is who you're becoming as a woman. You becoming a queen, you becoming a feminine goddess, you becoming a high value woman, a feminine connected woman. That's the ultimate gift for yourself, because not only will you then get the man, but you're going to get everything else you want in your life as well. People are going to start taking care of you. People are going to start being more connected to you. They want to be around you. They're inspired by you. Your children are wanting to be there for you, or they want to learn from you. They want to they want to be like you. You know, all this is happening. Your coworkers, everybody else is going to start being magnetized to you because of who you're being. That's the ultimate treasure. And like I said, that treasure will allow you to get any man that you want, really. Not any man, I'll say, because some men are broken and some men are already taken and they don't, maybe for other reasons, they're just not a match. You're not a match value wise or whatever, but you'll be able to get a quality man, a masculine connected man who wants to show care for you, regardless of what happens with this specific man because of who you became. And so that's why it's a journey, it's not a destination. And that's why I recommend you really commit to this journey. You get extra coaching support, you get on the right track so that this can be something you have for the rest of your life. All right, so we have Snow White said, hello, I'm from Thailand. When I date a Western man here, I feel like I owe him sex. How can I change that belief? Well, it's not just a Thailand thing, Snow White. Unfortunately, around the world, a lot of women feel that way. A lot of women, even in Western countries, feel that if they go on a date with a man and if he pays for something or if he's treating them well, oh, now I owe him something. I owe him sex. I have to pay for something too, or I have to give him some gifts. And that's just simply not true. Your feminine energy is the gift. Remember that. Your heart is the gift. You don't have to repay him with your body. You don't have to repay him with your wallet or repay him with your service and doing things for him. Your feminine heart is enough. And you have to believe that, because once you believe that, it becomes true for you. And you attract men who believe that it's true. When you believe that you are the gift, your feminine heart, your feminine energy is the gift. And that's really all you have to do. But you do have to do it. You have to be it. So I'm not saying that you can just show up as you are now and all of a sudden you deserve to have a high value masculine man. Like, no, we do need to make some shifts. We need to bring you closer to your feminine core. You need to be in your feminine. You need to use these principles, and then you don't have to give him anything. But if you're still in your masculine, or if you're blocking it in different ways because of wounding patterns, then yeah, a man's going to feel like, why am I here? What am I getting out of this? Because you're in your masculine. I'm giving all these things to you. I don't feel respected or received or trusted, or I don't feel your heart. I don't feel appreciated. Then he's going to be like, why am I here? What am I doing here? Why am I giving all this stuff to you if I'm not getting anything back? What he's not getting back is your feminine energy. So that is your gift. That is the only gift you have to give. And assuming you do that, you can let go of that thinking. Let go of thinking you have to give a man sex or you have to provide for him in any way. Like, your feminine heart is enough, assuming you're embracing what we're teaching you here, the feminine principles. And then you're good. And then you will attract a man, and you will attract that behavior out of men that they acknowledge that. They know that. They're not going to try to have sex with you. They're not going to try to make things happen. I mean, he still might be attracted to you. He's likely going to still be attracted to you and probably want to have sex with you. But that doesn't mean that's the only thing he wants. That doesn't mean that that's all the only reason he's talking to you for. Because if he's a healthy, connected man, he is going to have some sexual attraction to you, likely, if you're a feminine woman. But that's going to be secondary in a lot of ways to him being magnetized and mesmerized by your heart, by your feminine core as a woman. That's going to be more compelling to him, especially long term, than just a one-night stand or some sex. So it's important to embrace that philosophy, because you will start living into that and you will start being that. Next time when you're with a man, you'll be able to let go of the feelings of guilt more, let go of the feelings of obligation, and just know, oh, I'm a feminine woman. And you also have to see what kind of man you're with, because yes, he could be a broken man, he could be an uncaring man, and maybe all he wants is sex. And if that's how his behavior is showing up, no matter how you're showing up, then you have to remove yourself from this situation and say, I appreciate it, I thank you for this, and I got to get home, or I got to get going. Or I can't continue to see you, or maybe we should just be friends. It's something like that. And we could talk about more graceful ways to end a date or a conversation. But, when a man's not showing care for your heart, you need to get out of a situation like that over time, especially if you're using what we teach you here. And so we'll have to see. We have to see what kind of man you're actually dealing with. But you'll attract less and less of those men over time when you use what we're teaching you. All right, so... okay, so let's see what else we have here. Yeah, Julianne said, Shell, watch out, it could be love bombing. Yep, definitely could be what we talked about earlier. All right, so Shell had a follow-up to her question earlier. She said, yes, we have dates, and together we are the Brady Bunch. He is a single dad, 49, with 3 girls, being married twice like me, and I have 3 boys. We are like two peas in a pod's family feel, taking things slow, and we have a parent double date coming up. Feels like I've known him also for many, many years and lifetimes. Yeah, that's great, Shell. That definitely sounds more substantial than, some guy you just met online before and he's single and doesn't have, you guys have a lot in common. But again, um, do you know this for sure? Do we know that this is actually who he is? And have you met him in person and et cetera, et cetera? So, or over the phone. So, yeah, but yeah, it sounds like, assuming that if it's true, then it sounds like it could be a good match. But we'll have to see still. It's really early. You have to give it some time. Um, I would avoid jumping to conclusions with a man. Like, take it day by day, because that's, for one, how you become a more secure attachment, but that's also how you become more feminine. A feminine woman is in the present moment. She's taking things day by day. She's not thinking too much about the future or the past. A feminine woman is being right here, right now, enjoying herself right now. And so you don't need to think about too far. You should redirect your thoughts towards the present. Avoid thinking too much about, are we going to get married? When is he going to propose? What is my name like with his last name? All these things where women will future project into, where things are heading. Like, try to just take it day by day and observe day by day who he is and how he shows up and how you feel. Most importantly, how do you feel with him? Do you feel good? Well, share that with him. Keep sharing that, being open. Do you feel something is off? Share that with him. Use magnetic feminine communication. Share some anxiety that you might have, or some confusion, or some uncertainty. Like, you still have to be open and in the dance with him, communicating with him, so that you can understand who he is as a leader and who you are as a follower with him in relation to each other. Two people coming together. What is this new dynamic actually like? And sometimes you may have to go through some intense experiences to really know who you're dealing with as well. You may need to go on a trip with him, or you may need to have some issue come up or some conflict, and see how you both handle that together. Like, these are the things that will reveal more and more what kind of man you actually are dealing with. And hopefully it will continue. Hopefully he'll keep passing those tests and keep showing up as this guy. And yeah, he'll probably still make mistakes. If he is a good guy, he'll make mistakes, but then he's adjusting for that. You're learning together, and he's wanting to do better. He's wanting to be a better man for you. All right. So, all right. Shell said, I'm 46 and have a great love story so far. That's great. We laugh and sing and go to church together and really feel love together. Oh yeah, that's great. So you are seeing him in person. That's awesome. So yeah, keep it up, Shell. Keep us posted. But again, everything else I still said is true. We need some time. Let's not get too crazy. Let's observe it day by day. Enjoy the process. Detach from the outcome. Enjoy the process. Show up in your feminine. Keep your heart open, and let's observe and see how it goes. But it's sounds like a great connection so far. That is really young still. It's really fresh. All right. And then Anne said, I love the way you said it. It's true, loud and clear. Yep. Great, Anne. Glad you like that. Kat said, perfect explanations. Thank you. You're welcome. And Shell said, yeah, it's really cool how the universe brings people together for a reason. Yeah. Yep. And we'll see. But yeah, it sounds like a great connection. So, all right, we're going to wrap it up for today. But I'm really glad everyone could be on today who was on live. And for those watching, hope you got a lot of value out of this. Again, if you want to take this to the next level, get the support that'll really help you, allow us to support you on this journey, personalize everything for your situation, customize it, and get you some real advanced strategies and coaching to get the results you want long-term, and learn about the 90-day challenge. Everything else we mentioned in here, advanced magnetic feminine communication, magnetic feminine polarity. Take our free quiz. That's where it all starts. You'll get a top recommendation on what we believe will help you the most on your next step. And so you get that by clicking the link below, or going to our website, magnetizeyourman.com, or clicking the bio or in the comment in the descriptions as well. Should be there. So much love. Take care. And I look forward to talking to you again on our next episode coming up very soon. Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.